Georg Hegel was a German philosopher who came up with a basic system for achieving the goals of the Illuminati called the Hegelian Dialectic. This system is based on 3 steps. In step 1, a rogue government will create the problem that harms or even kills its own citizens. This deception is known as a false flag attack. In step 2, a rogue government will control the reaction to the problem which it created by typically blaming it on an enemy or some aspect of its own society over which it seeks more control. This is why the term false flag attack is so named. In step 3, a rogue government will offer the solution to the problem which it created. This solution is typically a war or a system of regulations. The solution would usually not be accepted by the public had the rogue government not created the crisis and controlled the reaction to it in the first place. A government which seeks increasing control can keep pushing society to accept its agenda by following a series of problems, reactions, and solutions which it planned all along. The significance of the Hegelian dialectic is not how evil it is, but rather how often governments choose to follow it. There has not been a major war in the 20th and 21st centuries that does not follow the Hegelian dialectic.
The Hegelian dialectic is a very subtle psychological process which can destroy conviction, crumble your conscience, and it can even eliminate every shred of opposition that might exist within you that would make you oppose the exterminating of Christian principles in society. And what is so sick about it is that it is very simple. It is a process which involves 3 phases, which are thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. The first phase of the Hegelian dialectic is simply presenting the thesis. A thesis is simply the ideologies or the beliefs of a group or of an individual. After this phase is completed, then phase 2 begins, which is the presentation of the antithesis. The antithesis is a completely opposite view from the beliefs or ideals presented in the thesis. This is done to confuse the thoughts of the dissenter or the target group. Then, when phase 2 is completed, phase 3 is initiated, which is the presentation of the synthesis. The synthesis is a compromise between the 2 radically opposed ideals or beliefs that were presented in the thesis and the antithesis, which brings about a completely new belief system. A completely new belief system which is more than readily accepted by the dissenter or the dissenting group because it relieves the confusion that was on their mind, and unknowingly now they compromise their own belief system. This process is then repeated a number of times until the dissenter or the dissenters finally give up and accept a new belief system without any more dissent at all. And this is the process that the occult New Age movement is using to destroy Christian principles, Christian values, and to initiate in our society values that are wholly demonic and corrupt in their nature.
And we'll get into this later. The method they use is that of the Hegelian dialectic. Thesis played against antithesis leads to a synthesis. In other words, for Hegel, for history to make progress, you have to have conflict. And when you look at the key people in the order, you will find that they generate conflict. So Bush and Harriman politically are conflicting. Coffin and Buckley, although part of the same order, are in public conflicting with one another because conflict leads to the new synthesis.
The order want to accomplish in the Bolshevik Revolution?
You create opposing forces which you place in conflict, Out of conflict, you've got profit, you've got political power, and you can direct history. And if you look at the writings, for example, of the Trilateral Commission, they talk openly in the Trilateral Commission about managing conflicts, not solving conflicts, but managing conflicts. Conflict management, that's the cry.
So they got the profit, the power, and the management. Where do they want to steer history through the Bolshevik Revolution?
They wanted to set up, and they did, two opposing forces. Out of that came World War II.